Hello, my name is Shubham Sahu, and my teammates are Rebecca D'Souza and Ragini Patil. Our B project title is Kindred, a derma bot based on generative model under the guidance of Dr. Dhananjay Kalbande. Our problem statement is to design a generative based, closed domain conversational model focused in dermatology. So, we're building a conversational model specifically in a closed domain that is dermatology. So chatbot can be open domain where you can talk about any topic to the chatbot, or it can be closed domain where the chatbot has been trained for a specific subject. In our case, dermatology. Also, we're building a generative based model. So basically, there are two major type of chatbot models. First is a retrieval based model. So a retrieval based model already has a set of questions and a set of responses. And the task of chatbot is to select the most likely response to that model. So retrieval based model is actually a supervised or at least a semi-supervised model. However, generative based model actually learns from the previous conversations and it doesn't have any ready-made responses with it. So let's see the workflow. So we have divided this into two parts, the training part and how do you use the chatbot. So let's start with training. So everything starts with data here. So our data is nothing but the conversation between doctor and patients. So for current data set, we have used conversations between dermatologist and patient, as well as conversation between general physician and patients. And to create a language construct, we have also used a smaller movie data set, movie conversation data set, which helps the chatbot to construct the language. Uh, this is a sample of how it would look. The text looks. So the next part is tokenizing this data. So data is the form of sentences. So and the chatbot cannot know what the sentences mean. So every sentence is tokenized into words. So these words are the key elements for the chatbot. Next, we're pre-processing this data. So we'll see about the pre-processing stage in our code later. And this pre-processed data helps to create a vocabulary. Vocabulary is nothing but the set of words that a chatbot can use and the frequency with which the word is used. Next is context and answers. We'll see it in the code later. And we're using GLOVE. GLOVE is global vectors. So after pre-processing the data, we have only words here, but a chatbot can't understand what a word is. Word is interpretable by human only. So global vectors actually convert these words into one-dimensional vectors. And finally, I get a vectorized token. And this vectorized token is the input for our model. In order to use the chatbot, I just have to give it an input context, like whatever my question would be. And in return, it would give me a response. Also, during this process, we are saving the new context and answers. So whatever new we are talking to the chatbot, it would be saved as new context and answers, and this data could be used for training as well. This is the basic construct of a model here. We're having input context and input answers. These are embedded. I have an LSTM encoder and a corresponding decoder, and finally two dense layers with the activation functions. So we'll move to the code here. So initially, I'm just importing my drive here, and I'm using TensorFlow as backend. So an epoch for current chatbot was taking actually 40 minutes for a local PC. So with the help of Google Colab and parallel processing with TPU clusters, we could reach that epoch in only 3 minutes, 1.5 minutes. So these are the importing imported packages here. Majorly Keras and NLTK, that is for natural language processing. These are some of the constants that we're using. So I'll just discuss the helper functions first. So this just prints the result of whatever the answer would be. Embedding index. So I've discussed earlier about global vectors first. So this embedding index, generate embedding index method helps me to create those words into vectors using GLOVE. The pre-processing part that I was saying before, after data was tokenized, we pre-processing this data. So how this happens? So suppose I'll be receiving a token that is raw word here, and I'll do the following process. Initially, I would convert everything into lowercase. So if I'm having, suppose a word healthy or healthy, so these both words actually mean the same thing. So the chatbot has to learn that these both are same thing. So I'll map these both words to a same index. So I'll just Loki is the word, and there are instances where a person use uh, these constructs like won't, wouldn't, are. So this has to be converted into simpler form. So like won't actually means will not. If a word has apostrophe ra in it, it means are, and so on. Next, we remove some repeated spaces, repeated dots as such, and this is a function to decode. Like I'll give an input to the model, and this function uses the model and the input to give me the corresponding text with probability, with this is the confidence level with which the chatbot is replying. Function tokenize the data. Splitting file and training file is pre-processing happens to create the model initially. Yeah, so I'll just this is the create model part. So I'll just show you how it actually looks. So this is a visualization of actual model layer. I'm having input layer, context layer. I'm embedding it, LSTM encoder decoder, and finally dense functions. And this is the training part of the chatbot. Uh, so I'm loading the vocabulary file first, the questions file and the padded answers to train the chatbot. So the text which we actually have here, these are converted into set of context and responses, which was created using this method. Moving on, chatting with Kindred, will we've actually implemented this, so we'll directly run that part only. Okay, so I'll just yeah, so it is ready. I'm ready to chat with it now. Okay, so I already have a username, password. So this is how the portal will look to the patient. A person can log in here. So I can see it says me, hello, I'm Skindred, send me your derma doubt. So I can just start with like, hello. Let- Okay, it replies with hello again. Okay, so I told you that it takes the input and then lowercases it. So let me just type hello and hello. Okay, and gives me hello and hello back. Yeah, so you can see here that the first character of the sentence, we have manually set it to uppercase. Otherwise, all the input and all the outputs are everything is in lowercase only. So let me just ask it something. Okay, like so the data set has few patients which were having rashes. So I'll just say I have rashes in my skin. Okay, so it replies me how long you have rashes. Let me just say it like I have it since 3 days. Okay, so it asks me, does rashes pains? You can see the language construct is not proper here. Like it should be does rashes pain. However, it has seen the chatbot has seen in series that after rashes, the following word is pains, like rashes pains in the previous conversation. So it doesn't know like after putting does, it should be pain here. Similarly, you can see it says here how long you have rashes. It doesn't include the word do here. So we're not building this responses by own, but the chatbot is doing it on its own. So after few epochs, this training could be improved and it would give better results. Like it would be more fluent, as in we actually speak. Okay, let me just say it. No. Okay, yeah. So responses, do not worry. Okay, so this would might have been the response a lot of time when doctors are actually speaking to the patient. So it is just a recorded part. This is usually done by doctors to give relief to the patients. So our chatbot does the same thing. Like it's not only about the context, but also the behavior and the mentality of the person, which would not be possible for retrieval-based model as such if we are not pre-training it to do it. Okay, let me just say it. No, yes, it pains a lot. Also, what I've seen here, like uh, the user just told I have it since 3 days, and the chatbot understands that we're talking about rashes here because the context for this stage is how long you have rashes as well as I have it since 3 days. So the chatbot automatically recognizes that we are that the it here represents the rashes here. So this is a great achievement that chatbot has attained. Okay, so after I told it that yes, it pains a lot, it says, sorry, it seems I can't answer this, but you can consult with a dermatologist. I can book an appointment for you. Okay, so there are some of the instances where the chatbot won't be able to answer. Uh, it could be anything, like if something can only be approved by a doctor, or if it doesn't make sense. So in that case, the chatbot would give this reply. So this has been manually given to us if the chatbot doesn't know what it has to reply. Okay, so I told you earlier that we have trained the chatbot on movie dataset as well to create the language construct. So I'll just ask something from there. So it was something, yeah. Let me ask, what is the color of the sky? Oh yeah. See, I'm using the word COLOR here, not COLOUR. So all the conversations were in US English. So that's I'm using word COLOR here because it doesn't know yet like what does the word COLOUR means. Okay, sky is color of the blue. Okay, so the sentence construct is not proper yet for this generating model as it has to construct and builds its own language. However, it's still a good response given by the chatbot. Like it at least says sky, color, and blue, which can be easily understood by the human. So yeah, that's what Skindred can has attained till now, and we think that it would be even better after training with more data. I'll just log out. Yeah, thank you for spending the time with Skindred.